Good evening, everyone. Hi. Hi, Happy Loser. It's a funny screen name. Hi, Riddler. Hi, MG. So I'm Brandy Joy, and you're watching Brandy Joy TV. I'm on Facebook and YouTube and Periscope. So, hi there. How you doing? Hi. Good to see you. Yeah, so I'm just going to talk a little bit about belief systems and spirituality, religion, and reality, really. So, okay, Pete, I'll just call you Pete. I wasn't sure what to call you with that name. This was inspired by my friend Cookie. I don't know if she's on here yet right now. But my friend Cookie asked me today, something that I get asked quite often actually, is what is my religion? And we have Pagan Day coming up, Pagan Pride Day coming up on the 30th. Hey there. And she sent me the invite, and I've seen it already. I've seen the event, on Facebook and stuff. And I was like, maybe I'll go. I'm not really a pagan though. Well, a lot of people say, well, you're into all these different like spirits and entities and everything, right? So aren't you a pagan? I'm technically not a pagan. I'm not technically really any religion. I'm not religious. I am spiritual. I'm very new agey. I'm agnostic. And if I had to put a title to it, I would say agnostic. But my beliefs come from my experiences and research. Okay, so I've had a lot of crazy experiences, and I'm very skeptical. I'm very down to earth. I have a lot of Taurus and Capricorn energy, so I'm very earthy, skeptical, research oriented. When I was in school, I was always, through college, I was always in honors, and I was always into the research. And I did psychology and communication, and I would study how the society is affected by things, how people are affected by things, and I would understand statistics. I was a tutor in statistics. I teach statistics a bit, so I'm really into the more empirical research, proving correlations between things and stuff like that. And so when I started getting the spiritual stuff coming at me, I was pretty shocked, because I was always very atheistic, very practical, very skeptical of everything. When I was younger, I tried to be religious. I tried to be Christian. I couldn't. I tried. I went to a few different churches. I was actually in a high school that was Christian, and I was going to a different church, what's it called? Lutheran church. I was going to a Lutheran church. I've been to Baptist church, Catholic churches, and I would invite over the Jehovah's Witnesses. I would invite them over for conversations with me. I was super into just studying spirituality and religion, and I would go have appointments with the ministers and the preachers at the local churches, and I would ask them questions. I would say, why do you believe this? And why does it say this in the Bible? And then it turns around and says this. Why does it say that God is we're in God's image? And why does it say God's here? And why, and I would ask all these little questions, because I would study the Bible and I would study all these things. And they could never really answer my questions. I remember the Jehovah's Witnesses, they would try to answer my questions, but then I would counteract it with something else. And then they couldn't really explain the difference on why is this hypocritical in the Bible, And so then I became an atheist. I was in college, and I just couldn't find anything to believe in, because I was always studying everything and figuring it out and going, well, there's a hole here. If God can do anything, and God's so personified as a person, and God can do anything, then why doesn't he stop all the people from doing bad things, right? Or, my dad's big question, I remember he got in trouble when he was in Catholic school. He said, well, if God can do anything, then he can make it so that even he cannot pick up a rock. But if he can do anything, he can pick up the rock. Does that make any sense, right? So all these questions. Hey, Linda, I'm a Cancer. Sun sign is Cancer. Capricorn moon, very Taurus. So, there were many things that never made sense to me. So I became very atheist. I was like, well, there's no empirical evidence for anything spiritual. And then my eyes were opened to the fact that there is empirical evidence to this spirituality. And in fact, there's a lot of research. You're a Taurus? And it sounds like your adolescent years. Yeah, so I've had so many amazing experiences that you really can't deny that I know that there is something else going on. Now, here's the thing. I don't necessarily believe in a lot of things that most people believe. I believe in reincarnation. I'm a regressionist. However, I'm not black and white on things. I don't believe it fully. I don't say, absolutely, this is an absolute and there's no way out. I think there's always a way out. I think there's always a possibility that what you're experiencing is something else. For instance, reincarnation. It could be that our collective consciousness is so collective and stories underlie our unconscious that it's possible that our unconscious is making up the stories, or that it's tapping into the collective unconscious and finding those stories. And possibly has to do with parallel realities, the fact that there is no such thing as time other than the time-space continuum that we're in. So there's all these possibilities. It's possible we live in a simulation. It's possible we live in a computer program. It's possible we're not real. There are so many possibilities, and I'm open to all of them. Reality is a very strange thing, and the way that it works is very organized. There's very hierarchical. So for instance, when I regress someone into not just a past life, but then I take them over to the other side to talk to their spirit guides. They talk to these spirit guides, they get information, and the spirit guides will typically, now this happens quite often to me, and it's happened to others that do this. The spirit guides will say, Brandy can't know this. Not the person that's under, but the actual researcher, the actual person that is performing the session can't know this. And they will actually block them at certain points with certain things sometimes. And this happened to quite a few other researchers doing this work. And you don't ever tell the clients that this happens, it just comes up. Okay, so there's definitely something going on behind the scenes, right? There's definitely hierarchical type things going on that we're kind of on the low end of. At least it seems that that's what's going on. Some of us are captive. Possibly. See, I believe that anything's possible. I really do. And I think that, okay, here's another thing. You know that I do prophetic work, right? I see the future. I tell you the future. And I've only become confident in that. I've been doing it 17 years. And I only became confident in doing that based on my own empirical evidence. Based on my own saying, let me pull cards every single day in the morning and find out what's going to happen that day. And the night I would verify it, and then I would do it for the week, and I would do it for the year, and I would do it for situations over and over and over again. My empirical evidence became so strong that I just can't deny that it's true, right? So I became so caught up in the fact of predicting the future that I would say, okay, I see this, and this is the way it is, and this is what's going to happen. However, then I had to learn a new lesson. I had a huge revelation, and I've learned this over and over again, and it's finally become very clear to me, the fate versus destiny and free will type of situation that I described last week. So last week we talked about fate, destiny, and free will. And the reason I did that is because I'm a reader, right? And over my 17 years of reading, it used to be very, very clear and accurate all the time. But then a situation comes up involving relationships, people, right? And whenever it involves different people in a situation, things every once in a while might change. Not often, but every once in a while. And the funny thing is, here's how deep I go with it, all right? Now, if there's a situation that, say, I'm involved with, I will read on it, and then I will have 2 to 3 other readers read on it. Don't tell them a thing. To verify what I'm seeing, to verify. I told you I'm a researcher. It's my big thing. Same thing. And then it changes. Everybody sees the same thing, and then it changes. That can fuck with your head. So, when that happens, and it fucks with your head, you go, whoa, something's wrong here. I'm not wrong. That person's not usually wrong. That person's not usually wrong. And that person's not usually wrong. And we all said the exact same thing. Now, you can say, well, somebody's screwing with us, right? The program is malfunctioning. You could say that. Or a big lesson that I have to learn, I have Pluto Sagittarius. So a big lesson for Pluto Saggies is your visions can change. The vision that you see doesn't always come true because, here it is, free will. Free will, you have different lines. So I know this from the regression work I do. So I can regress you, and when I regress you back into the past lives, I can take you back to scanning, okay? So this is how I understand it. If I take you back into scanning your reality and what your timeline is going to be like, you ever had deja vu? All right, this is where it comes from. It's called the scan. So when your soul is on the other side and it's ready to jump back into our physical reality, it goes through a scanning process of the lifetime. Now, here's the issue. When it scans, it's not going to see everything at all. What it sees is possibilities. It sees lines. Boom, 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 right? All over the place. Little lines and possibilities, probabilities with different people. So if you're having deja vu, you're remembering that scan. Okay? Now, this was verified by Michael Newton in his decades of research, putting people under and doing this. And it's always the same thing. People go through a scanning process, right? So when you come here and you make a decision, you know, oh, I really like this person. You go on a date with that person. Over the course of weeks or months, you keep seeing the person, you get emotionally involved, and then all of a sudden, you know, you break up, right? Maybe after a date or two, they decide to date somebody else. And your reader, me or someone else, or many people, read, hey, you know what? It looks like you two are going to hit it off. You're going to go for a long-term commitment. Or, hey, y'all are going to have some fun and probably be together for quite some time, maybe a few months, maybe a few years even. All right? You get these different things. But then it breaks off. Well, that's the problem. We all have free will. People can take a step and make a left turn and make a change. They really can. And when I became very good at reading, I started to not believe that. I started to not believe in free will so much. I became a fatalist. I was like, well, if I can predict this stuff, then it must all just be fate. It must all just go that one way, right? Because if we're going down a line, we can see that line, and you keep seeing that line, and I am so good at the cards that I can pull the cards and say, okay, am I going to actually get involved with this person? Yes. Okay. When am I going to hear from him next? Thursday. Yeah. Okay, Thursday, and I hear from him. So I'm very good with reading, and then when you get thrown a loop, you know, then you go, well, wait a minute. All right, let me talk to spirit for a second. Oh, right. They had free will. And they decided to go for a different choice, right? If you're a fan of Edgar Cayce, you know that Edgar Cayce, he would advise people on relationship stuff, and he would tell them, hey, so if you keep up with this person, you're going to have a miserable life, but it's your choice, you know. If you go with this other person, you'll have a happy life. You're not going to be as in love with that person, but you'll be happy. You'll be happier, much happier than the other person, right? So you do have free will. And so you don't want to be a fatalist, right? I was a fatalist at one point because I kind of go back and forth being a reader and going through the lessons that I'm going through. I go, well, everything's fate, right? If you know, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. But that's not always the case. People have to make decisions, right? And those decisions are free will. That's a big part of our learning process. Now, I do believe that as far as I can say it. But then again, who knows? Any questions so far? You're trying to get out of fate mindset? Oh, just read some cards and you'll get out of it. Because then somebody takes a left turn, and you know, it's funny because it happens to all readers. You know, I know a lot of psychics and stuff, and it's like, yeah, it's like you have to advise people that, hey, this was their intention. You know, this is in, you know, I'm not sure if you're on or not, Audrey, but we were talking, you know, sometimes people make a different decision based, you know, they were on this path, they are on this line, and then they stepped over, and they decided to go down this other line, and it can happen. We use incantations to stop the algin. I have no idea what you're talking about, but our guides will help us make the right decisions. Yeah, so your guides are always there to guide you if you can learn how to listen to them. You know, they will usually warn you. They will usually tell you about probabilities and things that you need to know. Very true. Like Dorothy and the Yellow Brick Road. How so? Tell me about that. Watching the video change your direction? Are you talking about the fate video, or which video? So yeah, your guides are there to help you, and they'll tell you, they'll warn you, and they warn me, and they tell me, and I've made bad decisions. Yeah, I go against my guides too. We all do, because sometimes our heart is really somewhere, and we don't want to listen to the guides because that doesn't feel as good, you know? Yeah, free will. Everybody has free will and certain things to learn. So, you know, paths change, lives change based on people's decisions. There's a lot of possibilities in life and a lot of people that you can connect with. Good evening. They are astral entities that are in the way or stop things. The Ajin are like dark forces. Astral entities that are in the way or stop things. Interesting. Huh. I would like to talk to you, Pete. Maybe we can do a session online sometimes together. Sounds like you know some interesting things. I haven't studied the, and I'm not sure how to even pronounce that, Ajun. I've learned a lot about different types of spirits. I'm not sure how much I believe about what. Like I said, I'm extremely skeptical. And I do know there are dark entities, but I'm not sure if those are just souls that have become darker and darker, or if there's something else. Because it depends on which theorist you talk to, onto what that is. Yeah, the Ascended Masters. Yeah, it's just developed souls. I feel like no matter what decisions I make in the same outcome, just my life for a while, I guess. Yeah, and that has to do a lot with, oh, you're a high priest. Very cool. Which religion are you under? No matter what decision I make, same outcome. Yes, because there is fate and destiny, right? And if you are supposed to learn something, then you're going to keep experiencing fate. Bad things will keep happening in patterns over and over and over again to teach you a lesson so that you'll make a different decision and change your perspective and change something. Dark forces can be lost spirits, but dark forces can be other things too. IFA. I haven't heard of that. IFA? I'll have to look into that. Yeah, you'll have to message me, Pete. I'd like to hear from you. I was in the OTO. And Ajay? Yeah, I'm not sure about all that, but I would love to talk to you about it. It sounds very interesting. I'm always very open to learning new things. I go study a lot of different, religions and things. There are several levels. Okay, yeah, there definitely are. There's definitely levels. There's definitely a lot of hierarchy going on, and I can't explain it too much other than what I've learned from Michael Newton. I've taken some classes through the OTO, the Order of the East Temple. I've done a lot of different things, and I've experienced different things. And so all I can talk about is my own experiences and just the different things that I've learned. I'm very Gemini-like, where I learn a lot of different things. I'm like a sponge. I'm always researching and trying to figure everything out. Highly analytical. Yeah. Well, message me, Pete, after the show. I'm not sure if I'll get back to you right away, because I do have some marketing to do after this and some different things. But I definitely want to talk to you. So I'd love for you to reach out to me. And, yeah, anyways, what questions do y'all have? Oh, mother. Yeah, I definitely am. And, it can be frustrating. It definitely can. So, any questions, you guys? Any thoughts about, any questions about spirituality, about my version of reality? No? I want you all to love. Yes. Love is important. It is important. May I get some advice on controlling the energies and emotions when they are flooding in? I need this awakening to come full circle. I'm drained. Oh, cool, Destiny. Cancers are good people. I have a best friend who is Cancer, very motherly. The supernatural is the most natural. I agree with you. So you want to know about controlling emotions? Have you ever looked into Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now, and listened to his audio on The Power of Now? Mindfulness is very important for the emotional stuff. When you're empathic, you have a hard time setting boundaries. So you really probably need to work on some self-development tools like mindfulness is what I would say. Yeah, Elaine. Cool. Yeah, I kind of, I try to be simple about things. I try to just kind of lay it out there. And the way that I see things, I try to be big picture. I'm not very detailed when I explain things unless I have a story to tell, usually. Yeah, Eckhart Tolle. It's great. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I've only ever listened to his audiobooks. Yeah, the third eye breath. Yes, third eye breath is really good for that. Yeah, any type of pranayama. You can watch any of my meditation videos on YouTube, Facebook. I have YouTube meditation playlist where I take you through pranayama and kriya exercises that would really help you. A lot of self-control and patience. The wine guide. I've only had maybe 2 sips of the wine, but I've been very, very busy. I've been working 7 days a week. It's been a very busy time for me recently. So meditation's always helpful for controlling emotions and helping to release emotions. The truth is unfolding. The truth always unfolds with me. I'm so Sagittarius when it comes to my soul. When I read my runes over the weekend, I often get very similar readings as the cards you pull on Mondays. Very cool, because your higher self is choosing. And so you know what you need, That's great. Tori, shift your focus to the observer within. Yeah, that's a really good one to do. And the more meditation you do, the more you shift your focus to the observer within. And mindfulness training, Eckhart Tolle. Ormus, Pete, you keep saying some odd things that I don't know what you're saying. You're over my head with that. It sounds like you need to have your own channel if you don't. Fasting is good too. Yeah, fasting you got to be careful with too, though. You want to make sure that you're still getting nutrition even though you're fasting. So you got to do that with caution, especially if you're thin like me. The right diet, yeah. Aw. Well, you really need to go away. And I have to learn how to meditate. Why don't you just take my deep meditation course? It's free. Yeah? Well, you should maybe consider it. You sound like you know a lot. It's very interesting. People love to learn things about spirituality, especially when you've studied a lot of it. You know, I talk about so many different things. I hate to repeat myself. That's why I'm not saying too much more, because I know I've already told you guys so many stories and so many things on many videos. Started Power of Now, but having a difficult time with the time thing. Oh, cool, Ida. Yeah, I listen to Power of Now in the car sometimes. Yeah. Hey, Tiffany. Good to see you, hon. So I was just kind of chatting with you guys. I went over a little bit about my version of reality and how relative I see it as, and the spiritual hierarchy a little bit. Have I channeled extraterrestrials? I'm not sure what I channeled, but I've channeled a lot. You want to be careful when you're channeling. You don't want to just open yourself to anything. You want to be careful with that. Channeling can be a little dangerous. How do you know if you are an empath or a narcissist? Well, if you question yourself on whether you're a narcissist, you're definitely not a narcissist. Now, a narcissist can be very empathic. But you mean more of a helper, a codependent light worker, right? Versus a narcissist. Now, you know, and the lines are not always set in stone there. You know, it's not, it can be a little weird, right? You can be very empathic, and you can also have a lot of mental problems and be very borderline, for instance, and have like emotional incest with your family and cause problems for them, which is a bit narcissistic, but you don't even realize it because you're more borderline than anything. So there's many different classifications of personality disorders that can come from having family members or parents that were that had personality disorders, like anything from multiple personalities, there's so many messages, to borderline personality disorder, to narcissism. Stuck on the other plane when you astral travel. Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, there's a lot going on with Neptune right now, since you're mentioning Neptune. We're having a harsh aspect with Neptune. So a lot of illusion and stuff. Do you do astrology readings where you know, oh, it went away, birthday and year, I have a hard time finding my right match? I'm not sure what you're saying. I don't do relationship readings myself, but I just do natal and transits. I talk about, and sometimes little progressions. So I just talk to you about what your chart means for your life purpose. I do evolutionary astrology, so it's based on your past lives, your soul purpose. And I talk about like your moon's nodes, Pluto, and different aspects that, you know, affected you in this lifetime, and what you can do to have a better life. I talk to you a little bit about what transits might be hitting you right now, and just give you some advice based on that. So, yeah, I think I kind of went over like my belief system for the most part. If you guys have any questions though about beliefs or reality, I'd love to answer them. Do you think the discrepancies in readings versus actual outcomes may be the higher forces trying to remind you to live without attachments? Yeah, absolutely. That could be part of it. It's all lessons, you know. that can definitely be part of it. You know, it can always, attachment lessons are always big, you know, even when we attach to an outcome, right? Recommendations on angel cards. I hate angel cards. I am not into angel cards or what are the oracle cards. I just, does not resonate with me. I'm a pure tarot reader. I read the tarot cards. Yeah. I read astrology charts, tarot cards, and I regress people into past lives. And that's my thing. That's what I do. That's what I do. I'm not an oracle reader. You know, I have like, I think one angel card deck that I tried out. I got it and I'm like, oh no. I like to trust my intuition when I'm reading. So I don't want it to just say something to me, like, you know what I mean, like the 8-ball or something. I'd rather it be that I see it, you know, so it's more of a psychic work that I do. I trust my own intuition over the cards. Natal chart reading is $79. When we are on the path, we get blessings. When we are off the path, we get lessons. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, I do have email. Actually, instead of saying my email address over here, I'd rather just direct you to my website, brandyjoy.com. brandyjoy.com. You can also message me on Facebook. That's pretty easy, right? My Facebook is Brandy Joy TV. Yeah, Brandy Joy TV. Yeah. I do a 30-minute reading for $47, and that's mainly tarot with a little bit of astrology mixed in sometimes, depending on what your needs are. And if you want a pure astrology reading, that's $79. And for the hypnosis session, you need about 2 hours with me, and that's $149. Do I ever pull cards and get the feeling that the reading was not meant for me? No. Social media besides Penn and Perry, so I'll go through the site. Okay, yeah, brandyjoy.com. I think I actually have it linked on my Periscope on my profile if you want to click on it. Because your energy field is in the vacuum melt. No, I definitely don't pull cards and get the feeling that the reading wasn't meant for me. I'm very focused when I read. I actually have a masterclass. If you want to learn tarot, I have a masterclass. Just let me know. I'm planning on doing a webinar here in September to teach you guys some basics about tarot reading, psychic work. There are about 300 different planes, realms, levels. They're almost like mirror lives, alternate universes, funny things where you can come up with. Interesting, Destiny. That's really interesting. Yeah, the evolutionary chart reading. Yeah, just message me. And you can message me on Brandy Joy, or you can message me on Facebook, Brandy Joy TV. I come right up. Even Instagram. And yeah. You know, when you read cards, you have to be very careful that you're not focusing on something else. If you are, then you're going to pull on something else. And that's why when I read for someone, the first thing I say is, what's the thing that's weighing on you the most? Because if we don't address that, it's going to come up. Yeah, I'm a Cancer too, and whew, it's been hitting me hard too. Yeah, these energies are tough for a lot of people though. A lot of light workers, a lot of people. A lot of people are feeling very irritable right now with the energies, and there's a lot of weird mixtures going on with Lilith and Saturn and stuff, and Neptune, and yeah, really crazy. I agree. You know, I've been having a lot of issues myself. That's why we need to make sure we're doing our meditation work. When I do my meditation work, I have a much better day. If I skip it and I just do maybe a little bit of breath work, I'm like, yeah, thanks. You're a Capricorn with Leo rising? Nice. Yeah, Capricorns and Cancers have a harsh Pluto aspect right now. And it's a lot of unconscious learning, a lot of unconscious things. You know, this, right now with the eclipse energies, there's still a lot going on that's being revealed. Things that are coming to light for people. I've had 3 or 4 huge revelations in the past 2 days alone. So, you know, it's super enlightening right now, you know, but it's a lot of irritation. There's a lot of agitation. A lot of people are argumentative, getting into fights, you know, just feeling agitated. You know, it's a very emotional time right now for many people. And, you know, the only way out is to meditate. The only way out is to self-heal and nurture yourself, you know. Yeah, in your face. Yeah. Family drama. Yeah. Yeah, there's a whole lot of family drama. A lot of people are moving right now. A lot of people are making big changes. Actually, Louise Hay, a huge light worker in our industry, a big leader, passed on. And actually, it was the same like time that Wayne Dyer, I think, passed on last year. I think it was like the same day. Very strange. And that's when I see something like that, that's when I think about the computer program and how this is very much like a computer program. If you look at our reality, I did a video on this before. If you look at our reality and the language and stuff, it's very much like a computer program. For instance, my brother talks about the arc a lot. My brother's schizophrenic, but he talks about the arc a lot. He knows a lot of things. He's highly, highly psychic. And the arc is energy, is what he says. Now, when I study Michael Newton and taking people to the other side, they go on a current, an electrical current. Think about the archangels. When we invoke the archangels in ritual, for instance, invoking an archangel like Raphael, right? L is how it ends, electrical, right? And they're archangels, like an arc of energy, electrical. No, I haven't, Destiny. Oh, really, Pete? Yeah, definitely message me. That sounds very interesting. Okay. Yeah, he's very fragmented from trauma from a motorcycle accident back in 2005. And he's kind of a mess and has the voices and all that stuff. Like, ever does it affect meditation? No, not at all. Yeah, electric talks about the experience machine. Huh. Fire. Yeah, there's a, sorry, I can only actually see 2 messages at a time. The way that it works on my iPad, when you guys are messaging me on here, the comments, they go so fast. Sometimes, like, if 3 people message, it just kind of skips some. So I don't really see all of your messages sometimes. That sounds interesting, Destiny. You'll have to send me the name of that book on Facebook so I could look it up. But yeah, if you think about our language, though, our language is very interesting, right? If you start tying things together, it's weird how things can tie together so well. Oh, interesting. Pete, I really want to talk to you. You are interesting. My son mentions the void and the energy waves and the frequencies. Oh, wow, Elaine, really? Dress them in white. Okay. Energy particles. Dane Rudyard? Elaine Stevens? No. Dane Rudyard. I do know Dane Rudyard. I'm trying to remember who that is. I can't remember. I know Dane Rudyard. I've read his books or something. I know that person. But I have so many things going on all the time. It's hard for me to remember things out of print, but I think he's relevant. Yeah, I don't remember Dane Rudyard. Isn't that an astrologer? I think I read some of his books or studied his courses or something. I don't know. Energy particles. Need a reading from me. I do it free. Needs a reading from... Oh. How to revote his head. Super late, but I'll be sure to watch replay. Okay, Kayla, cool. How much longer is this energy? Forever and ever. Oh, yes. Yeah, I do have some of his books. I do have some of his books in my library, actually. Yeah, I've read them. How much longer is the energy going to last? Which one? Am I a Satanist? Somebody wants to know if I'm a Satanist, everybody. Am I a Satanist? Yeah, I'm a Satanist. Are you scared? Trying to get physical copy? Oh, okay. You just worry. Huh. I think me and you need to actually talk, Pete. Like, get on video chat. Just asking if I'm a... Are you asking me if I'm a Satanist? Hail Satan. I don't believe in shit, man. I believe in empirical research, and I believe in my own experiences, which is also research, objective. No, somewhat. Okay. Hi, Kathy. Kathy Joe. Yeah. So, yeah, the archangels, an arc of energy. You're actually calling in energy. And my mom just pointed that out to me yesterday because my brother's always talking about it. And she was like, archangels. That's the energy. I was like, yes. Because I was sent to help him. Oh, thank you. Very cool, Pete. Yeah, please message me. I would love to talk to you. Love angels. You love angels? Angels, to me, angels and spirits and deities, all this stuff, to me, are consciousness. They're energies, just like us. And this is why I have this tattoo. Because this tattoo represents reality to me. Everything is energy. Everything is energy. And everything is math. Everything is math, right? So when you look at things from that perspective, right, and everything is symbolic, right? And I have the heart chakra, the tantric heart chakra in the middle, because that's the way we can control our reality. We can control our energy and we can control our reality through tantric work and through channeling and healing and balancing the energies, right? So to me, everything is just energy and consciousness. And that's why I was saying earlier that when I regress you into a past life, it could be your past life. It could be a collective experience. I don't know. All I know is what I do and what I experience and what I learn from others. And my experience is definitely a very, very interesting one. So much so, people in our field, in the lightworking field, have very interesting experiences. It's like what's normal to us is not normal to other people. Did he cross? I'm not sure, actually. I don't know. I think he's partly on the other dimension. So it's not quite all here, you know. And that's the thing, is we're souls, but we're energy. That's what we are. We're just energy consciousness. And so we can fragment and we can lose parts of that energy in a way. Not lose it, but it can separate, it can fragment. So, I don't have any firm beliefs at all. I'm very relative. And I definitely don't believe in Jesus, sorry. Yeah. I'm getting a lot of abusive people on this Periscope. Reality is the world will end within 10 years. What? There is no end and there is no beginning. Doreen. Doreen Virtue, oh God. Please. She makes oracle cards, angel cards, bullshit. I'm sorry, but I am just not into oracle cards. I think they're BS. And, and her renouncing psychic work, talk about fear. A lot of people are experiencing a lot of fear right now with these energies. A lot of agitation, a lot of second guessing themselves and trying to figure shit out. I believe Jesus was a man, but the Son of God. Yeah, sorry guys, I don't believe in Jesus. I'm not religious, and I don't believe in Jesus. That's just me. You can believe whatever you want. You don't have to subscribe to everybody else's beliefs. You know, I think that anything is possible, but the story of Jesus has been told for many, 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 many centuries, like way before the supposed Jesus ever walked. And, you know, you might want to watch Zeitgeist for a little bit of insight into that. And there's also a wonderful book called The Laughing Jesus that talks about religion. And I believe that way. So just check out the Laughing Jesus book. It's an excellent, excellent book. I subscribe to that belief system, which is agnostic. You know, it's that everything is connected, everything is consciousness, everything is energy. I can totally accept anybody's religion. You're religious? Wonderful. That works for you. That's your version of reality. It's not my version of reality. I'm just telling you guys and sharing with you my version of reality. If you want to believe what you believe what you believe. Doesn't matter to me. I have no care. I have no care for anybody's belief system. You know, I can go to church with somebody on a Sunday morning and get along with everybody wonderful and even listen to their sermon and get something out of it. But I'm not religious. I don't believe in Jesus. I don't believe in most things. I'm very much a skeptic, you know. And so I understand when people are skeptical and they're atheist and they don't believe what I'm saying. I understand that. I believe most fear-causing messages induced to steer to truth. I don't understand that. I can only see or feel. Zeitgeist is a really good one. I wouldn't mind rewatching it. Yeah, Christina, it's a movie I watched years ago, and I was like, yeah, more people need to see this because, you know, it had a lot of basic truths in it that were interesting to look at, and a lot of interesting theories that some people need to learn about. So there's some really good basic videos and stuff you can find. What was the one? What the Bleep Do We Know is a basic, very basic explanation of kind of how I see things. So What the Bleep Do We Know is excellent. Most people have seen that, I think, that are in the New Age field. I think they even made a second one. You know, I was a little bored because I already understand all that stuff, but I thought it was cool, and I think more people need to watch it. But The Laughing Jesus is my favorite when it comes to understanding why I'm not religious. I don't subscribe to religion. Further down the rabbit hole, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, cool, Elaine. Absolutely. You know, I try not to offend anybody, but sometimes I know I can be offensive. Sorry. Apparently tarot reading and psychics are evil, but apparently God is a true psychic. The second, what the top belief is called Further Down the Rabbit Hole. Oh, okay. Okay, I thought you were making a joke. Further Down the Rabbit Hole. You know, I haven't seen one that. Is that worth watching, Further Down the Rabbit Hole? I actually, my next tattoo, I plan on either getting a vine or getting a rabbit. I want to get a moon and a rabbit because I'm all about the Matrix and the rabbit hole. I'm gonna have to check that out. So, yeah. Okay, cool. I'll have to check into that. I'll see if it's on YouTube or something. Actually, it could be on Amazon too. I stream a lot of things on Amazon. But yeah, on Vibe Tribe, you guys, if you want to share resources, you guys know I love sharing resources. So in Vibe Tribe, it's a great place. Maybe I'll put a post up and say, hey, if you want to share any resources for people that are trying to study spirituality from understanding religion, understanding reality, so we can put things like that in there. That would be good. Yeah, I think Edgar Cayce kind of held on to Christian beliefs. You know, honestly though, he might not have so much as maybe the people that followed him and kept his organization going do. I don't know, I heard something about that. Like maybe he wasn't so Christian with the way things that he said, but his organization is very Christian, I think. And you got to remember that time period, if you weren't Christian, you were, you know, you were a bad person. Oh, you're Thomas's cousin. Hello. Good to meet you. Not judge you either as an audience until you do not offend, just honest. Oh, thank you. So his father was a pastor. Not judge you either. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of people that subscribe to a certain religious belief get very, you know, offended if somebody doesn't sometimes. A lot of people do. Not everybody, but a lot of people do. This society paid for everything? Who are you talking about, Pete? And not religious. I found my true path and God does not judge. Yeah, cool, Linda. Me too. Absolutely. I don't really believe in a personified God myself. I believe in energy and consciousness, but I don't believe that there is a God, like a creator God that's like a person. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see it that way. I think that we're all, if anything, we're all God. And it even says that in the Bible, if you read the Bible, that I think we're all consciousness experiencing itself from different angles. Yeah. Casey. Oh my God. Wait. You definitely need to message me because he says some things like that, Pete. That's really weird. Okay. Yeah, God is us. Yeah, that's how I kind of see it, that everything is God. I'm more of that agnostic believer, but I don't believe necessarily anything unless I've seen it as an empirical, or correlational type of evidence. What if I told you I almost died and met him? Yeah, but see, I don't see it as a him. You're personifying God. Not awake, not asleep, but all these things. There's energies, yeah. But I don't believe that it's any type of personification. It's not a human. It's not a him or a her or a thing up there saying, you're a bad person, you're a good person, and I'm going to make this happen. And I don't see anything like that, in my reality. I don't see that. God is the trees, the air, the water, earth. Yes, Linda, that's how I see it. God, to me, is just energy. I don't believe in a God. I believe that there is energy and consciousness. Yeah, not human, not physical. Not a him or a her. Yeah, exactly. I did a whole video on it, actually. I talked about personifying God and the dangers in it in a video. That must have been almost a year ago, probably, or 6 months ago, I think. Something like that. I can't remember. Yeah. I think that because we, psychologically, we can't understand things. We can't understand reality. We don't have the ability, the capability to understand what God is or what really reality is. So our minds we don't have the ability. So we have to create it. And they're scared. The 200 on the right and the 200 on the left and the female energy keeps the balance. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I do believe in duality and the zeros and ones. I do believe that. And I do believe there's a hierarchy, like I said. So if I ask for something, I talk to my spirit guides, or I talk to my higher self, my soul. Yeah, the God particle is an interesting one. So I do believe that there are things above us. Yeah. And I do believe that we can ask for help. But I don't believe you're asking God for help any more than you're asking yourself for help. You're the white. Okay. Red hot and cold white. It's very interesting, Pete. I'm looking forward to talking to you. But yeah, anyways, that's a little bit about my version of reality and how I see things. And if you have any questions or thoughts, I'd love to hear from you. We can always extend this in Vibe Tribe if you guys want to talk more in the Facebook closed community that I have. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you want to share any links with us or any good books or videos, feel free to do so. I can go ahead and start it on Vibe Tribe if you want me to. Start the conversation on there. Love and light, Paula. Thank you. Yeah, I hope you're okay. I know that this is a really tough time. I've been having a really tough day, so having a little wine. The energies have been really getting me too. So I totally feel you. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining me tonight. Either heating or cooling down. Yeah, that's very true. I'm very much into like Ayurvedic work and Chinese acupuncture, you know, medicine. Oh, thanks, Amanda. I'm glad you loved it. Thank you, Paula. Because yeah, I was like wanting to talk about beliefs and reality and stuff, and I kind of winged it. Good night, Lynette. Oh, thank you, Pete. Good to meet you. Love and light to you. Thank you, Ida. Thank you. Banta Zyaster. I don't know if I said your name right. Banta Zyaster, maybe? Oh, thanks, Destiny. I'm drinking Moscato. Thank you, Carol. I have a lot of nice people on Facebook, and Periscope, you know, it's hit or miss. I have some good followers on there, but then I also have a lot of abusive people that get on, and I know that a lot of the abusive people really hurt a lot of people and make them not want to do live videos, unfortunately. You know, it's why I know a lot of people don't do live videos because of trolls, you know, getting on Periscope and saying nasty things and abusive things. And it's unfortunate because I would like to see more of my light workers out there talking and helping people, because we need more love and light in the world. So, all right, Periscope, bye for now. Yeah, they are. It's really sad, right? Namaste, Elaine. Thank you, Krishina. Love and light, Linda. Awesome. Oh, okay, cool. You came over from Periscope. Okay, awesome. Yeah, glad you joined me on Facebook instead, because Periscope is a little weird. Yeah, there's a lot of weird people on there. They get all mean and stuff sometimes and just say some of the nastiest things. Thank you, Charlene. The better side, yeah. yeah, the comments on Facebook are way better. Yeah, it's actual followers and people that are light workers instead of random people, a lot of random people on Periscope. I used to hashtag a lot. I should start hashtagging more to get more people that are interested in what I'm talking about. Yeah, cool. Yeah, you saw what people, yeah. I ignore a lot of Periscope, so I don't even actually respond to people on Periscope much, because I just get a lot of really nasty, weird stuff on there. So, well, thank you for joining me. Y'all have a great night, and I will see you Monday night, of course, always 10 p.m. Eastern. Monday night, we do our tarot for the week, where you get to pick your card. And on Wednesdays, we always have a conversation about something interesting. And if you want to watch any more of my videos, they're on YouTube. I have my YouTube playlist, Brandy Joy TV. If you want a reading, I do readings. So just let me know and message me anytime. Bye for now, everybody. I'll talk to you soon. Hope to hear from some of you. Love and light.